it only took like most of a week. The base is. I was gonna say we've graduated from boxes, but we really wound up with slightly better looking boxes. The slightly better looking boxes, of slightly varied boxes, but yeah, boxes nonetheless. Mostly because these are buildings like I'm never gonna go inside any of these buildings, despite the fact that inside every one of them there's, you know, this stuff just hidden everywhere. Bits and parts. Did a little semi-creative building. Decided to try playing with lighting a bit more. Ah, nuts, sun's up. This looks way better at night, obviously, because you can see all the stuff in there. I wanted something that's like, well, I did this treatment with the hub area. Why not try it again with the space elevator? Now, granted, there's no reason for any of this stuff glowing anything under the space elevator. Just this thing is a giant anchor you shoot stuff on. Wouldn't be a lot of tech under it, but I felt it needed that. It was fun to play around with. Trying to see how much stuff I could cram here before it just got too busy. Pipes look like tech, right? Pipes, because you don't have big cables. You know, have the thin little power lines. You don't have great big cables. The next step is to get on to all the stuff needed for the space elevator. Now, I am finally back up. That building over there makes a handful of supercomputers per minute. I've forgotten how many, which is why I chose to start documenting what I need. Right, 3.75 supercomputers a minute, which isn't much. I know. I'm fully aware of that. Also, in the process of doing this, there's 105. We're vastly overproducing on these. That's almost 400 plastic a minute. I'm currently making 160. Which means it's time for a bunch more refining. Now, God, this is a mess. Now that we've got into the pressurized stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these places, probably up here, to turn into just a flat-out fuel refinery. This down here, I did the math. That comes out to like 900 crude a minute if I triple overclock the main pressurizer gizmo. That guy, the pressurizer. Once I make some more radio control units, of course. Should result in a total of 900 cubes of... Don't pay no attention to that. 900 cubes of crude oil per minute. Which means I can run... Here's where it gets kind of hectic. Means I can run 30 refineries, making all the plastic and rubber I need. I also managed to get... Here's the blender. Not you. That. The diluted fuel. Yeah, it's extra fuel, just add water. Water is a meaningless resource. Water is plentiful, especially where I'm working with it. So that's going to give me... I tried to figure out how much heavy oil residue I would have based on running 30 refineries. If I split it evenly, 50 and 50, 450 on one side, and I'm going to talk with my hands for a minute because I need to keep count of things. And then 15 making 300 should result in 750 residue per minute, which is 25. No, that's not right. 20 would be 1,000. 15 refineries making 1,500 fuel per minute. The average, you triple overclock a fuel gen. I think it drinks 50. Let me check on this now before I do something stupid, like put my foot further in my mouth. Have any? There we are. Go in here. If I actually grab... Where'd you go? I saw you. You were in here. I actually grab a bunch of power shards. So that hit 50. 250% speed of... Yeah. Yeah. Which is math amount of fuel generators and a lot of real estate, which hurts a lot. Having just finished all that over there, and then getting a better fuel recipe. Now I could tear that all apart, but it doesn't solve my plastic and rubber problem. This is an attempt. I found that it's the unfortunate part. 3 refineries tiles onto 4 of those with a little space in the middle. Over here. I think it's that one. 4 tile quite nicely onto 5. 5 doesn't tile nicely at all, and I can't fit it on here. And I'm pretty sure that the time it took me to sit here and fiddle fart with all of this, I could have just built the refinery by now. This game has so many ways to waste time built into it, and I keep finding them one by one by one. But that's the next big project, because I'm going to need, well, I need to start building stuff for the space elevator, but I need to satisfy the requirements of all my materials first, because once, like right now, this is, I'm still sending plastic to the shredder because I'm not using it fast right now, because I'm not making enough stuff out of it right now because I've topped out at supercomputers. I can only do so much. Right? Like the AI limiter, that box of AI limiters is full and is going to stay full until I start using more of it. Which means, like the moment I can satisfy the material requirements for what I'm doing, everything's going to spring to life. Like almost everything. This line is deceptively low right now, because a lot of stuff over there just isn't doing anything. Because it can't, because all the boxes are full. But once I start spending those supercomputers and AI limiters and blah 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 to make, I start spending computers and oscillators to make radio control units and the these things, once I get nitrogen, it's like it's one thing after another. Just one damn thing after another. I have, thanks. Ginger came by, gave me a hand a few days ago. I went on a big hunt for hard drives, and as it stands, what do I have one on me? As it stands, I think I took like one recipe. Hard drives. Oh, I can. Oh, yeah, 'cause I took two different recipes. I took the other, over here, this cooling device recipe, because that wants 150 nitrogen per minute to make 6. That's 20 some. And then this one here wants 60 a minute to make 5. This is a much nicer number. It's a much easier number to work with. I'm already making motors. The box of motors is full in ahead of learning turbo motors. Heat sinks cost nothing. Alcad and that. There's another one that requires rubber, but I'm going to stick with the base one. I did find out that you can eventually uncover all the recipes you're allowed to have. And wow, a lot of them suck. So most of what I've been doing is getting up to here, and then as I unlock things with all those junk recipes on there, it should guarantee me the new recipes that I want. That's the theory. A lot of my theories are usually wrong. That one shouldn't be. This up here, I played with nitrogen for update 8? 9? When we had like nuclear pasta and stuff. Maybe 8. One of those updates. That I don't want to belt anything in there. I think I'm going to have to learn trains, which I'm not a fan of because there's a dependability to belts. Belts just work, right? Like, you put down a belt, the thing on the other end of the belt just... The thing at the beginning of the belt makes the stuff that goes on the belt runs to where you want it to go. If the belt backs up, that's fine. Trains have this weird thing that you get a bunch of stuff at once, and your supply diminishes. And if you haven't timed it out right, you run out. You have to wait for the next thing to come by, or you have to add more of this, or like more cars, and then signals. And the things need like an ungodly amount of space to turn. And I find them such a pain in the butt. But it's either that or pipe nitrogen all the way from there, which does not sound like a good way to do things. Plus, I should learn trains. So, since I've got this long road, it runs, I zoom out here, runs kinda that way because I'm a little off the road grid, and then kinda that way, because why have anything turn out properly the first time? That's gonna have to be, I'll have to learn how to remember how to do that, and hopefully I'm fairly certain I've left myself enough real estate around here to build a train depot. Probably over in this far end. I think the water here is too shallow to use a... Oh no, it's certainly not too shallow. I can tell you that right now. It's absolutely not too shallow to pull water up. One of these things. Go all the way to... I'm gonna crash. Go all the way to there, but if I... Because this platform is up so high, I should just be able to, like... You know... Cut a little nature out of the way. And build a train station over here. And then, at the very least, if I choose to go further up here, instead of needing belts, I can just run stuff to the... Words are hard this morning. Run a state, like pipes or whatever, to the shore, have a train come by, pick it up, and come back. Instead of belting it all the way across the map, like I'm already doing with bauxite. Bauxite's coming from all the way over here. It's literally coming halfway across the map to me. I play this thing again, I'm building a base smack in the middle, and then everything can come to me because it should never have to come more than half the map in that distance. Right? Yeah, for sure. Oh, let's see what's over here. Yep, I thought so. Always. What? You want some? Bite me. Where's your buddy? This thing is nowhere near as fast as it... No, it does not hit anywhere near as hard as it should. Okay, come here, you. There's no way I am coming down there to face you. You have no idea the depths of my cowardice. I must have shot him once or twice before for him to go down that fast. Where's that other guy? There you are. Hey, go long. Thank you. Now, I swear I've played with this thing before. Go on. Right, because I forgot to make radio control units. Ah, grumble, 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 grumble. I gotta say, them Mercer spheres make it real easy to make stuff out of just what happens to be in your pockets. And the fact that your pockets get real deep helps a lot when you're like, well, I need what? Hang on, sorry, I need who? Hi. This doesn't have a direction. So all it does is make pressure, right? I just feed you power? Potential, blur, okay. Extractor. Activated fracking node. That? Interesting animation. And now we're... This is the Goon Sesh system. Got it. Understood completely. Where am I going to run all this stuff? It's going to be a bunch of pipes go back that way, and I've got a big open space there where the first refinery was. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be an awful lot of pipe work, though. And I'm not going to make you watch me do that, because I don't even like watching me work sometimes. So the first order of business was figuring out how much each of these is going to make. I should be able to figure this stuff out on my own, but it was just easy to load three of them in there and just let these guys spit out into tanks until I get a reading. So it's two at 75, 3 at 150, and 1 at 300, which is... It's 900. Trust me on this. There's some math in there. I've had to break out the calculator. But it tells me how I can break these guys down. That I should get these are 300. These lines each carry 300 as long as I don't. Right, so I can take what? That 75, this 75, and that 150 gives me a full line. That 300 gives me a full line, and these two 150s. So I'll have 3 full lines coming out to work with, which is much easier math. The problem then is that means they each need to run into 10 refineries. 5 refineries doesn't tile for crap. Doesn't. 4 tile okay, 3 tile okay, 5 doesn't tile for crap. That said, I have a 4 and a 3, meaning I can combine them because 2 3s and a 4 make 10. You can get your paper out if you want to double check my math on that, but I'm pretty sure it works. Which means 3 lines out, each into a battery of 10. 2 making plastic, 1 making rubber. And then all the extra residue going to make fuel. Which means it's gonna be a lot of real estate, and I'm glad I've got an entire ocean of water to play with, because I'm gonna need a whole lot of it. So I think my pattern works. This is I made a whole bunch of them. I also did a terrible job of labeling them. So it's supposed to be refinery times 4, liquid in, solid out. And I forgot to take the solid side off of one part, but that's not an issue. That's just deleting a few things. This is supposed to do. So if I put this here, you can kind of see where all the ins and outs are, right? It is completely reversible. It's not mirrored, it's reversible. The issue with mirroring stuff like refineries is that suddenly things don't work. But if I gently nudge these together, that should all come together. The catwalks help me tell me if I'm help me line things up. And then, because this is, I left one stupid thing poking out. If in this configuration, the inputs, the liquid inputs are on the outsides. If I come up here and I go, just delete that blueprint, copy that blueprint, and I do this, I think is what I wanted. Think that puts all my inputs to the center. I think. You an in? You're an out. Yeah, because I screwed that up. Still learning how to do this stuff. So R. The problem with making it completely reversible is that oh, I've screwed something up. However, it is this is currently set up so it's got the input comes in on the south side of each one of them, and the output, the input comes in on the from where I'm facing, the input comes in on the right side of the bank, the output is on the left side of the bank. So if I do this, right, that's my out. You'd think at some point I would have enough power lines crisscrossing this world. So this is, it's a 4. If I go What's the difference between these two? So that's the output side facing me. And then I literally just cut it in half. That. And that should snug in right there. And you have to like run the belts in and stuff, but that gives me a 2 and a 4, which turns into 10 quite nicely. The 3, my current 3, already tell the difference there, right? So 4 fits in the blueprint builder quite nicely. Cut in half to get 2. For 3 to fit on... For 3 to fit within a space... I need something to look at that's not gray asphalt here for a second. Just pardon me. It's hard to line stuff up when there's no lines. So what I came up with was this. If that hand wasn't in the way, this would be a lot easier. There, right? Yeah. So that's 3. If I go blueprint again, you'll notice this has a power line on one side, a power pole there and nothing there. But if I switch this around, it's got these little IKEA tabs on the bottom to help it snap together. So now these guys are reversed. All the... I think those are the inputs? Yeah, inputs. It says if I want inputs all on one side. These guys are all kind of slightly offset. Like this guy was built to connect to him. He was built to connect to there. And then I just run pipe down the middle. Yeah, it's a lot of connecting stuff. The point was that if I want to have it reversible or not. So if I took... I might not fit that in there again. Betcha I won't fit this third one in here. Nope. If I wanted to, I can fit it so the outs come together. So underneath that catwalk that's half gray and half red, there's another set of these. And if I want all the outputs to be combined, you just spit it like that. That's the plan. We'll see whether it works or not. And they always leave little bits and things behind. In theory, it works. In theory. In theory, it lets me slap a bunch of stuff down, do some connections, and we're fine. I also, because of the way I like, because I want light standards, right? Need to have light underneath. If you fill this all in with pipe and gobbledygook and stuff, I can't access where I want to put the power, right? I can come down here and go, yeah, whatever. So I want to put this power pole here, and then I want to be fancy, and I want to run my power underneath. That's off by 1, isn't it? No, that's centered. Right, so my power comes up through that beam. gonna do that, right? You can't. The power just magically appears out of the deck, and then wherever I want to put light standards. I can put light standards and decorate however I choose. Right, my power comes in from underneath. Made the mistake of making that the wrong kind of power pole, but you get the point. Lets me slap down a bunch of stuff. I'll tweak it. I'm fairly certain nobody wants to try to copy the rat's nest of stuff I've done. From what I've seen online, there's an awful lot of opposition to things like burying the heads of an elevator inside a splitter or a merger. I don't care about that. Let's see, a lot of people using these beams. See, an awful lot like really, here it's done, it's compact. I've got an entire world I don't need to be compact. Right? My world is going to be as detailed as I wish it to be. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, everything I need for those. I'll still have to decorate the end caps, but that's not an issue because they're designed to line up. It's going to be a lot of stuff pushed out that way. Let's see, what 10. If you make plastic, you're going to push out 200 plastic to a side versus... Yeah, okay, yeah, 200 to a side is not bad. Yeah, that's a tier 3 belt. 400 plastic, 200 rubber. That should carry me through quite a while. And then I probably should rig up some kind of thing that... So I want to do the diluted fuel. I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and see if there's any kind of way I can incorporate this. Now that I look at it, I probably won't be able to. I have a feeling there's too great a height difference and too much stuff in the way. Yeah, I'd have to incorporate a ramp down. It does fit rather nicely, though. I should be able to do something like that. I'll need a whole bunch of them, too. Because you're gonna make... You take in 50 heavy oil. Oh, this math is gonna hurt so much. This bank will make 200. This bank will make... No, that should work. 10 per bank, that's 100, 100, 200. So it'll look a little silly. I mean, if I really wanted it to be symmetrical, I could put 2 blenders there before I get into the fuel burning part of the process. Make the belt work a little easier, but at least the whole thing's a bit more symmetrical. I know it's going to take me like an entire evening to play around with it. I will get it running, and hopefully, when I come back for the next episode, this will be running. And I can get the nitrogen stuff online. So I have like a week to learn myself how to use trains. We'll find out. Apparently they're really easy, but I haven't done them myself yet. We'll see. I'll see you in the future.